everyone. It's just Melissa today, Keto Cooking with the Joneses. I'm going to show you how to do some bulletproof coffee and the options that you have to get your fats up. And then I'm going to make this awesome 90-second bread that you put in a mug and you cook in the microwave. So first off, I'm going to use a Keurig. You don't have to, any coffee pot's fine. And I have a shaker that I'm going to shake my husband's coffee in to show you the difference, and a blender so you can see the difference. You could also use a mug that's like this. This one, it twists on into my mug, my cup, so it doesn't come off. Something like this would work wonderful. Or like this one just pops in. There's no thread inside the mug, so if you try and shake as hard as you have to with the mug like this, the lid will just come off. So I don't suggest using one like this. So first what we're going to do is I'm going to take my husband's K-Pod and I'm going to put it in. I am going to make it in his mug. And then we'll dump it in here and shake it and show you. So first off, he doesn't like sweetener in his coffee, so we're just going to use a little bit of heavy cream. Right at about 1 tablespoon is perfect. Okay, and then MCT oil. MCT oil is a very good product for keto. It is coconut, so like this one, it's medium chain triglycerides. And it's 100% versus coconut oil itself is normally only 40 to 50. So this is a lot healthier for you than coconut oil, but it is not required. It is kind of a little bit more pricey, but it's bomb. This one right here, we had a friend give us, and this one tastes just like coconut, smells like coconut, it's amazing. This one doesn't have any flavor or taste at all. So we're going to actually give him the coconut one today. Give it a little shake. And also a tablespoon of that. Okay. So other things that you could put in your coffee are, you could cover the top with 100% cacao. We like the dark chocolate. And this is just powder, a splash of vanilla extract, cinnamon, and nutmeg. Just a little bit on top is all you need right before you shake it, and it's bomb. Heavy whipping cream is our favorite substitute because it's got good fat in it, it's got very, very, very low carbs, it's thick, it makes a nice creamy coffee. It's awesome. And then I do put sweetener in mine. Not all sweeteners are keto approved. So do your research. Make sure that the sweetener you are using is keto. Splenda is not. There's a few others that are not, but what are stevia. This is the baking blend, but I like this one because it's more of like a powdered sugar. It melts easier. You can get xylitol, you can get Truvia, and you can get Swerve. I believe there's a few others that are, but those are the ones that I recommend. And monk fruit. Monk fruit is a really, really popular one. So now that my husband's coffee is done, I'm going to take this and dump it in the shaker mug. Get the rest of his goodness off that. Okay. We're going to give that a good shake. And in the meantime, we're going to start my coffee. And again, I'm going to cook it or brew it in this one. So this is my stevia. I just put it in a mason jar so it's easier to get to. And I do 1 or 2 teaspoons. So with this, for every teaspoon is less than 1/2 of a carb. There's no fat and there's no protein. So you just got to watch your carbs a little bit. So for 2 teaspoons, I'm at about 1 carb, which isn't too bad for how I eat for the rest of the day. So you definitely want to make sure that it fits into your macros. So I'm going to add 2 into the bottom of my mug. And start my coffee. This shaker's making a mess. Okay, so I had to change the mug. The other one was leaking, but this is a good one. So this is just a bigger one. It still has the little whisk ball in it. Just give it a good shake. My coffee's about done. We always use our same K-Pod twice. We do either a medium and a large or a medium and a small, depending on the size of mug that we are putting it in. My little pink mug right here is a medium and a small. My husband's was a medium and a large. So just shake that really, 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 really good. Once you start shaking, you can see the bubbles on the top. That's what you want. You want to get that up there shaking really good. Make sure that you're opening this away from you and every so often to release some of that air. Okay, so we're going to cook mine in the blender. So I also use heavy whipping cream. So about 1 tablespoon of that. Get all that extra off with that hot coffee. Okay, so another thing I forgot to say is you can use this. Just make sure that it is the sugar-free. Sugar-free is very, 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 very important. You want to make sure that it doesn't have the sugar because you're trying to avoid the sugar. Okay, so I'll go ahead and use a tablespoon of that. Oops, went a little over. And butter. Butter is a good one. This is regular butter. This is grass-fed Kerrygold. You do not have to use this, but it is highly, highly recommended. It is much, much better for you. So if you can't afford this, get this. As long as it's real butter and not margarine, you're good. So I'm going to grab a knife. And I'm going to actually use the regular stuff today. I like to use the other stuff when I cook. And about a tablespoon is all I put in it. Some people put more. I just need a tablespoon. It does just fine. Make sure that you are adding all of this to your app if you have an app on your phone to help keep track of your macros. There are recipes spots on a lot of macro trackers so that you can input it once with all of the stuff and then you only have to click it the one time. You don't have to do it every ingredient every time. Okay, so now we're going to add my hot coffee. Okay. This might get a little loud. Full stop. The hot coffee is going to melt that butter. So you just want to try to make sure that it's getting mixed up really well. Shake my husband's again. Do both at the same time. I can smell the caramel. It's awesome. And they've got other flavors. It's not just caramel. Just make sure it's the sugar-free. Okay. Okay, if you can see, this has about this much of the foam on the top. And when you shake this one, it also has quite a lot of foam. So like I said at the beginning, a blender is good, but it is not necessary. Some people will tell you you have to blend it. If you can get a good shake out of it, it'll do just fine. If you stir it, you're going to have a little bit more of an oily texture on your lips when you drink. And that's kind of what throws people off of this coffee. Bulletproof coffee is also known as keto coffee or butter coffee. If you've never heard of Bulletproof, but you've heard of those, that's why. So there's numerous ways to do it. Like I said, a shaker mug is really, really good, especially if you have the whisk in it. A blender is awesome. Or a mug that has the threads that you can tighten your lid down. So now that my husband's coffee is done, we're going to go ahead and pour it into his cup. Remember, open this away from you because it will be hot. Sometimes it sprays. And you just dump it in. He does have a little bit extra. And then his lid's just a pop-on lid. That's why I didn't use his, say use his mug. And you put that on. And voila. Oops. My coffee is also done, so I'm going to take that. And I'm going to make sure my blender opening. I'm going to pour it in there. I also have a little bit of extra, so I'll just come back for that in a little bit. Put that on. Okay, so while our coffees are cooling down, I'm going to clean up this mess, and I'll be right back to show you how to make that 90-second bread in the microwave. Okay, so I'm all cleaned up, ready to show you this bread. Regular size coffee mug. That's all you need. Just a regular size. Nothing spectacular. Okay. 1 large egg. 1 tablespoon of coconut flour. 1/4 cup of almond flour. Any brand you have will work. These are what my local store has. 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. I also forgot coconut oil can be put in your coffee if you do not have MCT oil. I put about 1 tablespoon in mine when I do it. And a trick to the fats in your coffee, I also forgot to mention. I take a big ice cube tray. I take 8 tablespoons of butter, 8 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, or your 2 favorite fats, and I melt them together, mix them up really, 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 really good, and I pour them into an ice cube tray. Put them in the freezer. Just pop one out when you're ready for your coffee. Pop it in your coffee in the morning, and it melts, and you can shake it or blend it. It's perfect for when you're in a rush and you don't have time to sit and add a tablespoon of this and a tablespoon of that and a tablespoon of this, or however. So the ice cube trays make it a little bit less than a tablespoon per, just because you're just pouring it all over all of them. And the 8 and 8, mine, like I said, they're larger ice cube trays, and they make about 11 or 12 out of the 8 tablespoons of each. So it's not going to be exact, but you're still getting your fats in, so it still is awesome. Okay, back to this bread. So what you do, first start with your baking soda, or your baking powder, sorry. 1/4 teaspoon. That's the really, really, really small one. Dump that in your bowl. Okay. One tablespoon coconut flour. Dump that in your cup. Coconut oil. Organic is best, but you do not have to have organic. Try and make it so it's soft so you can get it out. It smells so good. Okay. Get all that goodness out of there. Use my spoon. Almond flour. This is the one you need the most of. It's 1/4 cup. And you kind kind of want these to be a little bit level so that it's not way more than you need. And last but not least, my egg. So just take the egg, crack it right in, and then take a fork and just mix this up real good. This, to me, and my husband both, tastes exactly, and I mean exactly like an English muffin. We like to add a piece of sausage, like a patty to it, and an egg that was cooked perfectly round. You can use that in a microwave-safe bowl. You can do it with like a metal cookie sheet on the flat iron if that's how you prefer to do it. You can leave them yolky if you want. You can scramble them and then mix them together and put cheese on it so it's round. Like whatever works best for you and your time frame and what you like is perfectly fine. But it literally tastes just like a sausage egg McMuffin from McDonald's, but better because it's keto approved and it's not fast food junk. So once you get all this mixed up, you definitely want to make sure that you get down into all the corners and get all of that baking soda and all the powders. Scrape it all off your fork. Okay, and then use your spoon, big spoon's best, and kind of pat it down and make it so that it's nice and smooth. This bread does not move once you start to cook it. It stays that form. So when you're making sandwiches, you want it to be as smooth as possible so that it's not like your top's not weird to eat. See how much smoother that is? 90 seconds in my microwave. Okay, I'm going to get a cutting board. Okay, we're going to taste this coffee. Hopefully I don't burn myself. Oh yeah. And if you guys can see, I'll try and show this, but it still's got, sorry, a little bit of froth on there, even after sitting for a couple of minutes in my mug. And the caramel is just enough. Once you've been on keto for a while, you can't even tell that it's sugar-free. It still is sweet, and it still gives that hint of sweetness. So if you're used to like flavored creamers, between those syrups and heavy cream, you can make your own, and it's amazing. I could probably not even have to add the sweetener. So my coffee is perfect. I'll probably have my husband come in and taste his coffee and test my bread for y'all, and we'll see what he thinks. Okay, I got my husband here. He's going to taste his coffee for me. I'm going to get the bread out of the microwave and I'm going to cut it and we'll show you, and then we'll taste that and we'll be done. Will you grab the butter?
Yes.
Shouldn't have put it away. So I like to take a knife. The mug is hot, so be careful. I like to take a knife and just go around the edge just to help release it a little bit so that it doesn't want to stick. And then I take the whole mug upside down. That's all you need. And then this is also Kerrygold. If you don't have Kerrygold, don't worry about it. It is better for you, but it is not necessary. This is spreadable butter, so it just comes in a tub like this. And we'll put that right on. Right out. It is kind of hot, but I'll show you. This is about how big it is. Nothing super huge, but I can cut this in 4 slices for me and him, and it's perfect. And when it comes to like the macros of the brand of ingredients I used, it's only got 2.5 grams per slice. So if I'm having 2 slices, it's 5, but you can make it an entire meal, or you can save it, have 1 slice now, 1 slice tomorrow. I definitely don't recommend leaving it on the counter for very long. It will go bad because it is good ingredients. So, slice this in 4. And this is what I meant by, if you don't flatten it, it keeps its shape. So I like to add a lot of butter to these. But butter is bomb, so my butter's not wanting to come out today. Okay. Once this is all buttered, we'll taste it for you and you guys can see. And then you guys can try it and tell us what you think.
I actually really like this bread. It's so close to an English muffin.
Sometimes it can be dry, so that's why we add butter to it. Besides the fact that butter is good for you on this diet, the butter helps moisten it up and a little bit more enjoyable, but you don't have to have it. It's still just as good. So, what one do you want? Do you want this one or that one?
This one's fine.
Okay. It literally is like an English muffin. It's absolutely insane. And like I said, you could cook sausage and add sausage and eggs to it, cheese if you wanted, or bacon instead of sausage, or a couple slices of ham, or whatever your go-to breakfast meat is, would be perfect on this.
It literally tastes like a sweeter English muffin. It even has the texture of an English muffin.
So good. Well, let's see what you think about your coffee.
Had the hole the wrong way. Oh yeah, that's my Bulletproof coffee right
Remember,
there.
and his was cooked in the shaker. So if somebody tells you you can't cook it in a shaker or stir it in a shaker, you have to put it in a blender, tell them, no, you don't. Shaker works just fine. Even my mug, I normally do it in my mug just because it's easier. My mug twists, perfect. I don't have a problem with it. So
You definitely don't want to do it in this style mug because this is a pop top and it just doesn't seal very good. Hers actually twists on, seals really good, so you can actually shake it and not lose anything. I'm pretty sure if I shook this, I would lose all of my coffee all over the floor.
Yeah. So, try this 90-second bread. Try your Bulletproof coffee with different fats. I like to mix my fats up every day so it's different. Try it in a blender, try it in a shaker, see what you like best. Comment on this video. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know how your bread turned out. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell at the bottom so that you can see more videos. We've got so many planned. We just got to get them done. So don't forget to follow us and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching.